From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Well, Montana Attorney General Tim Fox announced a multi-million-dollar settlement with tobacco companies today over funds owed to the state and protection for the next decade of payments. MTN's John Riley has more.
The Montana Department of Justice has secured $49 million plus interest on funds owed to the state from tobacco companies. The settlement stems from a lawsuit filed in April and will also prevent those companies from challenging future payments to Montana through 2030. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox called it a historic win for Montanans.
No other state in the Union has received 100% of what was withheld by the defendants under a similar claim. No other state has achieved a remedy protecting future payments in full for 10 plus years and an agreement to not withhold funds under similar allegations in perpetuity.
In 1998, Montana entered into an individual settlement agreement with the big tobacco companies after decades of deception regarding the health hazards of smoking. Rather than join other states' litigations, Montana filed suit in-state, which meant challenges also had to happen in-state. Fox says the credit goes to all the Montana attorneys general who oversaw 2 decades of litigation against the big tobacco companies and the dedicated staff that worked tirelessly to represent Montana. Millions of dollars in funds the state receives from the companies every year play a significant role. They fund children's health care, suicide prevention, and smoking cessation programs.
The settlement funds are particularly important to the Department of Public Health and Human Services. This money is key in its efforts to help people quit smoking and to prevent Montana youth from becoming addicted in the first place.
The Attorney General says that owed funds should be paid by the end of the year, which means they'll be available for the governor's budget and the 2021 legislature. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Well, Fox's office estimates the total value of that settlement at well over $100 million. Tonight, new information about an officer-involved shooting that left a man dead last Friday evening in Stillwater County. The Highway Patrol says the incident began after a report of a person throwing flaming objects from a car window that started multiple brush fires along I-90. The suspect's vehicle was pulled over west of Columbus. Authorities say 38-year-old Charles Meeks of Pineville, Wyoming, refused to cooperate. A confrontation followed, and the trooper fired one round from his shotgun. Meeks died at the scene. Well, the MHP trooper, along with a Stillwater County deputy and a Columbus police officer, have now been placed on administrative leave during the investigation. COVID-19 continues to take a tremendous toll across the state as Montana counties report 13 more deaths today, and the state added more than 800 new confirmed cases. 2 of those deaths are out of Park County, which are also the first COVID-related deaths that the county has seen. Late today, Bighorn County reported another victim. The state total has now reached 553 COVID-related deaths. As the country and world wait for an approved vaccine against COVID-19, one Montana hospital is upping its testing technology. MTN's Sean Wells tells us how this highly specialized testing will help in the fight against COVID-19.
KRH officials say the new testing platform benefits the community with increased access to COVID-19 testing and accurate, timely results. KRH infectious disease physician Dr. Jeff Jaden says the platform uses a PCR test to detect genetic material of the virus and is highly accurate compared to antigen tests. Dr. Jaden says the in-house lab means rapid turnaround results instead of having to send PCR testing to remote labs. Dr. Jaden says the specialized equipment allows the hospital to test up to 100 samples at a time.
For instance, last week we ran 3,300 samples just in our own hospital. So that really gives us capabilities to do pretty large numbers of testing, not only for this virus, but potentially for other viruses or other diseases as they emerge and things from that.
KRH officials say the new platform was able to perform nearly 800 tests in a single day. In Kalispell, Sean Wells, MTN News.
Components for the in-house molecular lab began arriving at the end of the summer, and the equipment was installed and fully operational in October. Tomorrow is Turkey Tuesday, and as you and Q2 partner with the Billings Food Bank and Toys for Tots to make the holidays a little brighter for children and families across our community, all day tomorrow the Q2 crew will be accepting donations from our studios in a socially distanced drive-up style in the parking lot. Q2's Mitch Leahy brings us more about the need at the Billings Food Bank.
The Billings Food Bank is seeking donations and volunteers ahead of the holiday season. While crews have already been hard at work feeding people during the COVID-19 pandemic, they need the community's help to continue it in the holiday season. Food Bank CEO Cheryl Shandy said she's been seeing a lot of new faces coming through over the past few months, and the group has been able to help out more people than ever with new farm to food bank events. For the Thanksgiving holiday, the food bank is preparing to serve hundreds of people who use both their cooked meal service and Thanksgiving box delivery. Last year, volunteers hand-delivered 150 turkey dinner boxes to the community. This year, the food bank is asking people, if they can, to pick up their boxes directly from the food bank to relax the strain on volunteers. To sign up to receive a meal, just give the food bank a call. Although the name of Q2's event may be Turkey Tuesday, the food bank is accepting all kinds of food donations.
That if they want to bring down food donations, it does not just have to be turkey. It can be any kind of food donation that they would like to bring us. Or if they'd like to bring cash for us to do our own shopping, that's great too. We are so grateful we live in this community because this is such a giving community. And a lot of it is because a lot of the people that support us have deep roots in Billings. They've been here for generations.
An easy way to support the Billings Food Bank is to participate in Turkey Tuesday. You can stop by the Q2 studios on the corner of 4th Avenue North and North 32nd Street between the hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and drop off food donations or toys to be donated to Toys for Tots. Reporting in Billings, Mitch Leahy, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Mitch. And again, tomorrow's donation will be all drive-up style with all COVID-19 procedures followed. Well, the pandemic has silenced many choirs and singing groups around the world who, even if they could perform virtually, still need to wear a mask while singing to keep their fellow performers safe. But where there's a will, there's a way. And thanks to a little ingenuity and a weed whacker, singers are finding their voice again. Here's MTN's Jill Valley on how one Missoula business made it all possible.
John and Robin Rose have sold music folders and choir robes from their Missoula business for 20 years, although there hasn't been too much to sing about lately.
We had a rehearsal on March 12th in which we wiped down all the chairs and the stands and sprayed the room and kept the doors open. And then on March 13th, we called off the rest of the season.
And then sales went flat, another sour note on a difficult year for performers. But John and Robin thought maybe they could design a mask that provides safety, but also space to sing without suffocating under tight-fitting cotton. And that's where the weed whacker comes in. John was doing some yard work this spring and he needed some more trimmer line. Well, when Robin got a good look at that, she had an aha moment.
So I told him when he found it to bring it up to me because I wanted to have some of it. And I sat there and I fiddled with it and figured out that if I threaded a filament through part of the seams of a mask, I could make it start to stand out.
They presented their idea at an online music trade show, and the rest is history. Soon production started on the Resonance Singer's Mask. Made with high-quality materials, not actual trimmer line, they've had a hard time keeping them in stock.
And it's not easy to breathe when you open your mouth for an ah vowel. Normally, the mask will pull right off your nose. So these ones have a little gusset that open and close when you open your mouth. And they also stay off your mouth so you can take a deep breath in without sucking fabric into your mouth.
So we have a really long moldable nose wear here, and underneath on the underside is a silicone strip all the way across. So people that wear glasses don't fog up.
And inside Cyprus.
This test shows the vocal quality holds up almost as well as singing without a mask. My Music Folders has sold 50,000 masks so far, including to local high school choirs, and they've already been used by University of Montana performers. Their ability to rebound saved this longtime Missoula business, even as they hope someday they can go back to folders and robes.
We'll continue bringing them in and stocking them until they're no longer needed. It's going to be a great day when we don't sell a single mask.
In Missoula, Jill Valley, MTN News.
And the Roses say those masks are good for anyone who has to talk a lot, teachers, media folks, even if you wear a mask at the gym. Montana Governor Steve Bullock unveiled his final proposed two-year budget for the state today, but he won't be the one who gets to implement that. The two-term Democratic governor leaves the office in less than 2 months, and the next governor, Republican Greg Gianforte, will sign the next state budget. Bullock says his proposed budget does not raise any taxes and balances the budget with a $250 million cushion at the end of June 2023. But to do that, Bullock would transfer $75 million out of a budget rainy day fund. His budget also would freeze in-state college tuition, spend $10 million on a new publicly funded preschool program, and spend almost $500 million on infrastructure projects across the state. Gianforte will draft his own amended budget and is likely to have different priorities. During his campaign, he says he wants to freeze state government spending and use any surplus to reduce taxes. Governor Bullock says his strong management of the state budget has enabled Montana to weather the coronavirus storm without having to slash government services.
This is a budget that does not necessitate any cuts to government programs and services relied on by Montanans. If the next administration and legislature choose to cut government services, it'll be based on ideology, not based on necessity.
Republicans also will hold large majorities in the 2021 legislature, which will help craft and approve the next state budget. Still ahead on the MTN 9 o'clock news here on the CW, we're going to explain why now may be the best time to sell your used car. But first, the temperatures are moving up. Bob's in next with your full 7-day forecast.